It's day one of the Democratic National Convention, but the city of brotherly love, not so brotherly, and as for the love, not so much.
Enough is enough.
Inside the convention, the party is scrambling to recover from yet another email scandal, this one forcing the DNC's chair to step down. Debbie Wasserman Schultz was supposed to call the convention to order about an hour ago, but she pulled out so the convention could, quote, start on a high note. In a very controversial twist, Baltimore Mayor Stephanie Rawlings Blake did the gaveling in instead. Wasserman Schultz leaked emails reveal a concerted effort with others at the DNC to undermine Bernie Sanders' candidacy. Clinton claims she knew nothing about it.
I didn't know anything about it, and I haven't read any of those. I don't know anything about these emails. I haven't followed it. I can't speak to what people who were not working for me, who were saying whatever they were saying. I can't speak to that. I can only speak to my campaign.
Watching 60 Minutes last night, you didn't see that part of the interview. CBS chose to only air Clinton's answer on this bombshell story online. This morning, Scott Pelley backed up Mrs. Clinton.
If I'm any reader of body language, I've known Secretary Clinton for 25 years, and I was struck as I was reading the emails to her in the interview. Her eyes widened as if to say, what is this about? What are you talking about? She seemed genuinely surprised.
And literally moments ago, the DNC put out a statement offering a deep and sincere apology to Senator Sanders, his supporters, and the entire Democratic Party for the inexcusable remarks made over email. The committee says it's taking appropriate action to ensure it never happens again. Now, we have a whole bunch of news in that intro, but Dana, I want to start with you on the 60 Minutes selective editing of Hillary Clinton's answer on this email scandal.
I mean, if I'm being kind, I think that maybe they didn't realize what they were doing. I do think that, of course, a lot of people in the media, especially at a senior level, they've known the Clintons for 25 years because that's how long she's been involved in politics, as First Lady on up, or even as Governor, the First Lady to Governor Clinton. But I don't think you should start off by trying to say that you're fair by saying, oh, I've known her for 25 years, and as I was reading it, I could see that it was her first time. By the way, if it was the first time she was hearing it, where is her staff? Because she's going to do 60 Minutes to introduce her vice presidential candidate, and they don't prep her with this information that Scott Pelley has. I mean, it's not that he just, like, automatically got it. I just find that pretty hard to believe.
Yeah. They should change the name from 60 Minutes to 58 Minutes.
Very nice, very nice. The other two online, right?
Yes.
KG, another email scandal. Maybe the Democrats should start using WhatsApp or
something like that, end-to-end encryption. Yeah, this just wasn't believable or credible. I don't think he did himself any, favors as a journalist to go out on a limb to say that, because it really is, quite frankly, nonsensical. Like Dana says, you don't go to an interview like that, which is a defining moment where you've announced your VP and you're going to be interviewed on 60 Minutes, ill-prepared and unaware of a that we all knew about and that was breaking and coming out. Of course they had to alert her to it. Of course they had to give her, with respect to the content of it. And if not, and if she wasn't well prepared, this is just further evidence of incompetence, of bad judgment, decision-making that isn't good, and just obviously an organization in, disarray in terms of you putting your candidate out there to be vulnerable and open to attack like that. And also, perhaps, maybe she's recession-proof. She's a great actress.
Maybe. Juan, talk to me a little bit about who they replaced Wasserman Schultz with. Stephanie Rawlings Blake, could they pick a more controversial replacement?
Not that controversial at all. She is the former mayor of Baltimore, and she was involved with the whole incident about the young man who died and arguments over what happened in the course of the rioting there. But that's not controversial. It's long gone. Stephanie Rawlings Blake's very popular right now with Democrats and with the mayors and even some of the governors.
So, but why Baltimore? It's 95 miles away. What about the mayor of Philadelphia? I know he's a Democrat, right? He's
yeah, he sure is.
Tonight as well.
He is. But no, there's nothing wrong. Stephanie Rawlings Blake, I think, again, is more liberal and I think fits in more with the Sanders crowd. But I mean, to me, really, even listening to your introduction, I'm thinking, boy, Republicans, after their disastrous convention last week, are now trying to suggest, oh, Democrats are going to have a disastrous convention, too. I think this is wishful thinking.
So this wasn't any pandering to Black Lives Matter or anything like that?
It's not pandering. I think Republicans are the ones who are desperate right now to say, oh, my gosh, that was the worst convention ever last week. We hope the Democrats...
And she's the one that said, let them riot, so that's perfect.
Greg, can we talk about the apology a little bit? DNC just released the apology saying, hey, sorry, we won't let that happen again. A little late. They got their nominee. They got who they wanted.
The Rio Olympics.
By the way, what's up with the shirt?
Oh, this is the I'm with her shirt, but I am wearing it because I like to change it to I'm with Herb, decriminalization. I'm with Hertz. I always rent with Hertz. It's very good. I remember Hervé, who played Tattoo in Fantasy Island, a great guy. And finally, my favorite superhero, played by Kevin Sorbo, I'm with Hercules.
Very good.
Now, yeah, sure does, but I'm not with her. What I was going to say is the Rio Olympics is getting off to a better start than this. Debbie Wasserman Schultz is now Ted Cruz with a perm. And you were thinking, like, there could be no woman less popular at the convention than Hillary. And Debbie Wasserman Schultz goes, wait, I want to...
She took the fall.
I wanted it.
She took the fall.
The only thing that could make this worse is if Bill Clinton is caught hitting on the Liberty Bell.
Very nice. All right, let's do this. How Hillary Clinton's campaign blames Russia for the leak of the DNC emails. They think it was done to benefit Donald Trump.
What's disturbing to us is that experts are telling us that Russian state actors broke into the DNC, stole these emails, and other experts are now saying that the Russians are releasing these emails for the purpose of actually helping Donald Trump. We also saw last week at the Republican convention that Trump and his allies made changes to the Republican platform to make it more pro-Russian. So I think when you put all this together, it's a disturbing picture.
The Republican nominee mocked that allegation in a series of tweets, including, quote, the new joke in town is that Russia leaked the disastrous DNC emails, which should never have been written, stupid, because Putin likes me. And he had this to say earlier.
Debbie Wasserman Schultz. I always knew she was highly overrated. I said, Debbie, you're fired. Get out, Debbie. Out. Boom. Debbie was totally loyal to Hillary. And Hillary threw her under a bus, and it didn't take her more than 5 minutes to make that decision. Man, I don't want her covering my back. I'll tell you right now.
All right, Casey. Get out, Debbie.
Debbie, you're fired. Yeah, I don't know. Pretty rough. That was actually probably even mild for Trump. But, yeah, this obviously is not a good day or favorable for Debbie Wasserman Schultz. And, yes, she is getting thrown under the DNC convention bus for sure. But she has been unbelievably loyal to the Clintons for many, many years, and she promised to deliver this convention and the nomination to Hillary Clinton, and she pretty much did. But this is really embarrassing for them, especially on the, tonight, the first night. You have Michelle Obama speaking. This is just not favorable. No matter what anybody says, Juan, you got to admit, this is not an auspicious beginning.
You must have forgotten the name Corey Lewandowski. I think Trump threw him under the bus. He seems to have forgotten that. But I think what's interesting here is that the FBI has now announced that they have launched an investigation to see if the Russians really did spread this intentionally to help Trump. And we know about Trump's bromance. That's the word.
Does it matter?
That's what Podesta said.
Does it matter
let me finish. Trump's bromance between Putin and Donald Trump.
No, you would have to tie Trump to it, though, wouldn't you, Juan? Otherwise, it doesn't matter what their motivation.
Trump has praised not only Putin but every other dictator in the world, and Putin says that he likes Trump. So we don't have to tie it. They've said it. They've given personal testimony.
The problem is these emails have a tie to the Clinton campaign. That's the difference.
No, it doesn't matter. As Greg pointed out last week, it's not right what WikiLeaks is doing. But the idea here is that WikiLeaks didn't even do the hacking. The Washington Post reported in June that the Russians had hacked the DNC, and they gave it to WikiLeaks.
All I'm saying is that there are in these emails that WikiLeaks found or were given by the Russians, even if they were given by the Russians, has operatives within the Hillary Clinton campaign emailing with other people, with media,
showing collusion, direct links.
There's no collusion in talking to the press.
Look, I would just hope that Republican or Democrat, independent, libertarian, whoever it is, we could all agree that we do not want, and it is highly inappropriate and illegal for any country outside of the United States to meddle in our elections. we can meddle with our own elections. We're obviously doing a pretty good job of it in 2016. So hopefully everybody can agree on that. And I don't think the FBI just launched this investigation by reading their statement. Seems to me the investigation probably started back in June, I guess, when they had the initial leak.
Yeah.
Bro, what do you think of this whole email scandal? Whether Russia is involved, does it matter?
Maybe, maybe not. What bugs me about it is that the reason why what they were trying to do was go after Bernie Sanders for being maybe an atheist, as if being an atheist is a really bad thing. Atheists didn't just try to shoot up a wine bar in Germany. Atheists didn't shoot up a gay club in Orlando. And atheists did not drive a truck into a crowd in France. An Islamist did.
Or in
a
San Bernardino.
A religious extremist did it. Atheists don't do that. The other thing about we have to learn is we're beginning to think, is everything more corrupt than it is? I think the explosion of communication makes hacking, obviously, makes the communication more vulnerable. I don't think we're seeing more corruption. We're just finally seeing what's behind the curtain. This has been going on for decades.
There's politics happening.
Do you think Hillary Clinton knew that her operatives, people in her campaign, were working with, emailing back and forth with the DNC and bringing up these things about Bernie Sanders?
She might have. I think that, like, she doesn't even know what her own emails are.
That's a good point. What do you guys think?
Well, so what?
Does she know?
So what if people are emailing back and forth? There shouldn't be, as you
No, but
saw,
they're
the
trashing
collusion.
the other candidate.
No,
Of
course, people in politics. Look, it's true. He's not a Democrat. I think they said he's not a Democrat. He wouldn't understand our Democratic
religion.
No, they did not. They said he was an atheist.
Paint him to be an atheist.
Yeah,
or the lack of a religion.
That's different than saying they're going after him because he's Jewish.
Is it?
No, they were saying specifically that for Southern Baptists, the idea that this guy doesn't believe in God was a deficit and could hurt him with voters.
But he is Jewish.
Yeah, he's Jewish. They didn't say. They weren't talking about the fact that he was Jewish.
To highlight the fact he might be atheist. Might be atheist. Meanwhile, he's a Jew.
Yeah, I mean, they're trying to, like, spin this and run it through the rinse cycle like 10 times, but it is what it is. I can still smell it from here. I mean, this is not good.
Me.
Oh, yeah. It's a little sweaty in the tent in here.
I don't think it's any coincidence that this leak comes right before the start of the convention, and you think, hey, this looks like a red Russian hand, not even a red Republican hand involved in this.
This is my favorite part right now, is that Juan's like, I'm on to he's smelling the conspiracy, but God forbid if it's on the other side. We're
right as we have to throw to break.
Yeah.